there's two different upper levels in these. There's the cup hauler and then there's the truck hauler. So a truck chassis is taller than a cup, and it's got, I think we have 4 more inches in the upper. So this is a truck one. When ARCA went to the composite bodies, we raised our halos 4 inches. So if you have a cup hauler, you have to put roll-around tires to load, which means you cannot load with our general tires. Can't be used to load. So this has the taller upper deck, so we can move things in and out easier. And for anyone that doesn't know this, when we talk about General Tire, they are a Hoosier tire.
I saw you say that recently. Yeah.
It's a big deal to us. Willie is a 2025 Hoosier hero, and there's been some confusion because when we run Dominion, that is an American racer track. So they're like, why is he doesn't even run those? But General Tires are a Hoosier product. When Continental bought Hoosier, I don't even know how many years ago, there were passenger vehicle tires that were Hoosier. There are now. They are like a combination, like performance tires. So if you had like a street car that you wanted to road race, Hoosier now makes a product. But they didn't exist then, so they felt it made more sense to move the General brand onto our tires for brand recognition because General also sponsors ARCA. So if you go to a NASCAR track, you see the big General Tire logos. That's for the ARCA series. It doesn't do Continental any good to have Hoosier up because we don't have a choice. Like, nobody has a choice on what tire we run. Whatever track you're at is the tire, right? We also were on a program. We run Generals on the trailers. We get a pretty deep discount. Oh, nice. They'd like us to be in General if we can, and they do make a really great tire. We get discounts on Continentals also. So we can't thank Continental enough to allow us to be a part of their team, a part of their promotion staff. I joked with Willie that part of the reason he was a 2025 Hoosier hero was my content creating skills. And Hoosier has made that very known that is absolutely part of why he got fitness to start. I went to the Walmart run to get all the drinks, and I got to figure out food for the weekend because the way the truck leaves versus us leaving, and then the truck going to be on the road for 2 weeks. So the semi is currently at the driver's house. He's getting it situated. We've never sent the truck out for 2 weeks on its own. It's a little nerve-wracking. Willie normally drives the hauler, but we have a real business, Bugsy's Repair in Fredericksburg. We work on big trucks. Our primary customers are GFL, Ryder, Waste Management. We work for all the big fleets. Willie's a little bit of an idiot savant. We can fix just about anything. And if you live in Virginia and you see a green GFL truck, it was probably painted at our shop. We did the whole rebrand for the state when they were bought. If you're in Northern Virginia or Baltimore, good chance we painted your Waste Management truck that runs through your neighborhood also.
And Lexi does some sponsorship of Dominion, is that right?
Yes. So I worked for Dominion Raceway for 5 years. We've been tied with the track since it opened. We're good friends with the Brits. So we sponsor Victory Lane. We help out a few other cars. It's like I said, we race, but we're also a big part of the racing community. So much so I also am a photographer. My business is Dinah Photography. For years, I was doing it kind of as, like, I was a track photographer in Dominion, did all their social media or whatever, but over time, that's kind of, like, I work for Peyton now, that's pretty much all I do, but a couple years ago during COVID, Mike Looney, the 87, you know who Mike Looney is, so his car owner, Billy Martin, is a phenomenal guy. He's having some health issues right now, so we love you, Billy. But Mike is like the people's champ he was almost a national champion late model stock with like a budget this tight. Sure. So Billy had called me to come to Dominion on a test day to just shoot some content. So I went out there, and at the end of the day, Billy said, all right, well, what's your last name? He's writing me a check. So I said Mullins, and he looks up, and this man now, he's the car owner for Mike Looney, who is really Virginia late model stock royalty. He is a hillbilly redneck, doing it with very little dollars, but he's an extremely talented race car driver. Great guy. Loved him. But Billy pops his head up. He goes, wait a minute. Are you related to the ARCA driver? I said, yes, sir. I said, that's my husband. This man who has been in our sport for I feel like 100 years, right? Was so excited. He did not realize that, so for a big chunk of my time in the sport, I mean, it's not that I downplayed Willie. Sure. And we don't race all that often, so I guess part of it I didn't realize he was as popular as he was. But so we kind of have separate lives in racing also. Yeah. Like I am,
you're in all these different worlds. Yeah, that's super cool. I love you. Like you're across the racing ecosystem. I love that.
I kind of joke, and not so much anymore because I'm not someone that does the Cars Tour thing, and yeah, we'll leave that there. I've been like the queen of late model stock racing in Virginia for a while. Like my first weekend with the Sellers was the year that he lost the national title to Lane Riggs. This is what I'm going to say. I love you, NASCAR. I know that some shady shit went on behind. I know what happened. It was not cute. You're lucky that the Sellers are good people. That's all I'm saying, because I thought a lawsuit should have come from it all. But either way, they're running national title. Lane was doing some really weird stuff. We had a feeling a race was getting thrown out. Lane was sandbagging. When we do twins, it gets a little bit wonky. It was the first weekend we were down at the Sellers camp. Our friend Davey was running a backup car for them, not starting parking, just running the car. And I realized that who I was in the sport was a little bit more than a photographer, because the HC Sellers pulled me aside and said, do you think we should park some cars for the second race and not give car count? Like, we were starting to do mathematics.
Sure, right.
And I was like, you're asking me? Like, and I was saying that later to Tyler Hughes, and Tyler laughed. He's like, you know national points better than anyone. Of course he would have asked you. So that is, that was the start of me leaving shooting everyone and working for a ton of people. And just, I am Peyton Sellers. Like Willie joked yesterday, he said Peyton's lucky that he borrows me to him.
Yeah,
so,
right.
As we were being mentioned in the Michigan race that we weren't running at. So,
I love it.
Yeah, so this is our home away from home. It needs, whoever decided in the early 2000s that carpet was the way to go.
Yeah.
When we got it, every shelf was lined with carpet, so it stunk in here.
That's terrible.
Eventually we'll take down all the carpet and put something else up, because in a trailer that gets closed up a lot, I don't know why we want things that mean...
You got the air
Peyton,
pressure.
Yeah.
Peyton Sellers right there.
Well, a couple years ago we had Landon Pendleton in our car at Bristol, and they were teammates at the time, but it was kind of a joke. He would always race Peyton real hard, so we put this in the car as his, rabbit in front of him.
Target.
Yeah. Peyton is extremely proper, and I am a little bit of a loose cannon, so I think it's hilarious that I do things like this to him.
I love it.